It's Dimps. It's time to look at another one of my perfect childhood games. I loved all of my games as a kid, but were they actually good? Or was my little kid brain so much easier to please? Last we saw, Blood Omen 2 landed in the Holds Up category, so we are still looking forward to finding that really special nostalgia beater game. Today's contestant, RoboTech Battlecry. This game is based on the RoboTech franchise. They have books and TV shows and movies, and I didn't know any of that. Even now, if I hear RoboTech, this game is my only point of reference. But that didn't matter to little Dimps, because all he saw was a big robot with a big gun, and that was enough. Turning the game on, you are greeted with the Harmony Gold logo that oozes DVD menu screen vibes. And it has a website that is still active? They celebrated their 40th anniversary this past year at Comic-Con. How have I not heard of this franchise? Is this one of those things where nobody talks about RoboTech because, who doesn't know about RoboTech? The intro, my god, the intro. It bleeds Saturday morning cartoon. Look how cool it is! Flying around, shooting missiles, all the different angles and explosions. The music is bombastic. Like, you could hear it in an old World War II newsreel or something. Look out, bad guys! The RoboTech Defense Force is here! Go get 'em, boys! Starting the game, you get the opening cutscene. We learn that there is a global war going on that stops when an alien spaceship crashed onto Earth. A ceasefire is called, and the planet bands together to protect themselves from a possible alien threat. Everyone is happy, dancing, and What's that face? Why is he all teeth? What a creep! Even in this angle, why is his hand just there? What's his military name? Private Grope? Luckily, that's not your character. This guy who is letting it happen is. You play Jack, a very young soldier who was drafted to be a pilot and whose parents died shortly after the global war began. Jack has only known battle, whether in war or as a mercenary. He fears.
If you took the war out of me, would there be anything left?
Though after the war ends, he states that,
Those were happy times.
So I guess character arc resolved in the first cutscene. We are then attacked by an alien race known as the Zentradi, who are trying to get their big ship back. Which, isn't the most egregious request. I mean, we have something that doesn't belong to us. I guess this planet falls under the jurisdiction of Finders Keepers. But let's talk about the gameplay. First, you get to choose your Veritex head, which changes your stats. You have 3 flight modes, Battloid, Guardian, and Fighter, each with their own mobility, primary and secondary weapons, and a special ability. And you can swap between these modes freely during any mission that best suits your needs. It is genuinely cool to go from shooting things down as a fighter jet to dropping to Earth as a Battloid to gun down some ground units. That being said, I don't like playing as the Battloid or Guardian. Battloid's gimmick is that they are better for ground combat. Their secondary weapon auto-shoots missiles, and their special is a sniper rifle. Sounds cool, right? Nope! The secondary weapon uses your main weapon ammo, so although you won't be hurt by missiles, you aren't going to be doing damage either. It's better to try to dodge or tank the missiles instead. And the sniper? It's mostly used to destroy mission objectives like gates and boxes. Oh, I'm sorry, explosive boxes.
Shake it off, Wolf 10.
I feel like I'm being too negative, so maybe the World War II announcer can make my complaints more palatable. There are so many enemies in every level that standing still is a death sentence. And the sniper doesn't even do more damage than your normal fire, so why use it? The game tells you certain robots are extra weak to snipers, but even then, you need to stand at such a far distance against those enemies, otherwise you get shot anyway. Like here, Jack cannot go any further back, and it costs a huge chunk of health to barely hurt that guy. Yikes-a-rooney. Thank you, announcer man. By the way, Even if the sniper did work well, it's not fun to slow everything down in your high-flying, super-fast robot shoot-'em-up game. Uh-oh, that looks like foreshadowing. The Guardian, on the other hand, is really slow with weird mobility. They have missiles which help target multiple enemies at once, that's nice, but their special ability is to pick up things. But not things you want. You can't pick up a car and chuck it at someone. I tried. You can only pick up mission objectives like boxes or people. Which, not for nothing, if you are rescuing someone by holding them in your 40-foot tall robot hand and then zooming through a city on boosters, you are not rescuing them. You are flaying their skin like a Mortal Kombat fatality. And on top of all of that, the Guardian looks dumb. It's a jet with arms and legs. But at least we have Fighter Mode, my sweet prince. It has the strongest primary attack, you can shoot missiles, you can throw out flares to stop other missiles from hitting you, literally all the best features of the other modes, but now with actual mobility, speed, and the ability to turn around easily. Which doesn't sound like much, but the other two modes really struggle in that department too. But the Battlecry can float a little bit. Yeah, that's cute. Call me when it can do a barrel roll. You can use this mode pretty successfully in a lot of the missions, as long as there is some room for movement. One of my favorite levels was where I had to speed through a canyon to destroy some escaping ships. It was exhilarating, it was action, it was really reminiscent of Star Wars Rogue Squadron. Oh, I should play that. The missions themselves have a decent variety: dogfights, defend a ship or building, escort missions, destroying escaping transports, delivery missions, so on and so on. The first few missions I was pretty into it. You may be able to feel the low budget through the footage, but it doesn't really bother me. Shooting robots with missiles and doing barrel rolls as the fighter jet helped me overlook the fact that cars look like micro machines or that the city looks like one of those childhood playmat rugs. Admittedly, it was neat to see that cities are mostly destructible, including by your own bullets. One mission I had to protect the Civic Center from danger. The fools! I am the danger! There isn't too much to say about the missions themselves. They are pretty inoffensive, bite-sized snacks. You can beat most of them in about 3 to 7 minutes. And yet, they still feel padded. How is that possible? Well, for one, if you die or fail an objective, you start the mission over, which doesn't seem like that big of a deal when the missions are so short. But there are so many times where 90% of a mission is boring and easy, but the last 10% throws some nonsense at you, causing you to fail. For example, one mission, you have to slowly collect some boxes, and if you don't go directly to the next objective, if you take one wrong turn, then whoops, you messed up, back to box collecting for you. There are missions where the objective would glitch and I would have to restart. Destroy the gate? Done. Now what? Go f myself? You got it. Okay, maybe I am being harsh. The game isn't really hard at all, so maybe putting in these kinds of one mistake, you lose choices seemed like a way to add challenge. At least that's what I would say if the first boss wasn't competing for biggest bastard in the universe. This fight is wild. They do so much damage while having a whole bunch of ads to assist them. And before you even get there, you have to kill a bunch of other enemies, which takes about 4 to 5 minutes. Honestly, the only way I won was I switched my RoboTech to the more armored one and flew straight at him to tank hits. And I think this glitched because they would stay still so often and there weren't as many ads this time around. Whatever, I'll take it. Another complaint is the sound is extremely loud. Now, it may be my old man ears, but there is so much going on, it's a little jarring. I mean, listen to this. You can hear how that might get a bit grating after a while. That's okay, you can turn down the sound effects. Except, this also turns down the voices in cutscenes. What? Speak up! Thank God for subtitles. Although, there are multiple times where the subtitles desync from what is actually being said. A positive note about these cutscenes, though, is I appreciate they have multiple portraits for characters. Although they aren't animated or mobile like you would see in Star Fox, having extra options is a nice compromise. Although, why do they give Jack this portrait so often? Am I crazy, or does this look like the portrait of a bad guy? Like the snooty, rich, don't you know who my father is type. Next, we have another insanely annoying boss fight. You have to chase him down, go through ads, and if he hits you with his beam, say goodbye to most of your health. I had to have been killed by him at least 10 or 15 times. Eventually, I found a cheese method where I ended up playing peekaboo with him. With this method, I was still dying to him. Though, I did find his weakness. Die! Die! Okay, I did put it back to normal difficulty and found that you can simply walk in circles around him. He will never shoot you or attack with his laser. Ah yes, the skills of a true ace pilot. This felt less like a victory of skill and more that I broke the game's intention. I think the most confounding thing is that all boss fights after this are really easy one-on-one battles. The final boss barely has any additional help. Hell, another boss fight you have with an ally who the boss only targets. Oh, hey Foreshadow, what are you doing back here? Oh no, the worst mission in the game. Welcome to Zen City. If you liked the fast-paced movement, the big battles, strategically swapping between modes, too bad, none of that is here. It's stationary turrets and snipers the whole way through. You have no choice but to play peekaboo the entire time. The snipers are strong, the turrets track you with rockets or they will lock you in place with lasers. Oh, did you hold strafe slightly too long? That calls for 40% of your health. This mission also has you rescue people from a fire by shooting a water pipe, which is all fine and dandy, but it's the first time in the game you have to do some sort of environmental interaction. Like, maybe you can argue shooting the gate is too, but with that, it flat out said to shoot the gate. This is the first time the game is like, you figure it out, idiot. But after this level and the easy final boss, you get a cutscene and you die. Yeah, that scans. I don't have much to say about the plot. It's mostly all told in still images between levels. They have characters sometimes talking during missions, but rarely anything larger than the immediate go here and do this. I feel like this would have been a good place to naturally put in some storytelling. At one point, Jack is shocked that he feels happy he killed a bad guy, and I'm thinking, why? You've been killing this entire time, war is all you know, and before and after this feeling, you were still dropping one-liners.
It's time to try aiming. Come back when you have some skills. That's right, Jack the Giant Killer.
Just the briefest window of introspection. Lastly, there are awards you can collect throughout the game which unlock skins, a deathmatch mode you can play in multiplayer, and you have interviews with the voice actors. That's genuinely a cool addition. I've been hard on this game, that's for sure. I started to replay a few missions just to make sure my frustrations weren't a skill issue, and it turns out I'm pretty good at it, but still didn't enjoy it. Like sex and having diarrhea. But the real question is, where do I rank RoboTech Battlecry on the nostalgia meter? I think it's no surprise to say that this lands in the nostalgia comfort zone, meaning this game should stay in the recesses of my kid brain, never to be examined again. When the game allows you to go full fast pace, especially in fighter mode, the gameplay is fun. There are fun missions like chasing down escaping ships, or the weird one where you need to take a singer to their venue so they can perform at a concert in an active war zone. But I think most of my enjoyment came from the fact that I enjoy robots and flying games, like the perfect Custom Robo and Star Fox Assault. Oh god, no! Thanks for watching this review of RoboTech Battlecry. Let me know what you thought of this game, or any games you've recently revisited. Happy gaming!